doesn't affect me personally, but I'm just relaying out loud what's been said. I've been told that there was kind of an unwritten rule for years and years that Toledo would always have a school. If we voted in elementary, Toledo would always have their school. And now they're angry. Now I'm just telling you, expressing it. Don't get mad at me. I'm not angry. I'm just telling you that there are people angry. Now whether it's justified or not, that's beside the point. They are angry that they're losing their school. So
when they all consolidated this, every town was guaranteed they would at least be able to keep their elementary school. The first one that went was Vining. Then it was Montour. Then it was Chelsea. Now you're going after Toledo.
So that's just they're expressing frustration that they're losing their school.
So really quick to review that $20,000 that we keep saying we don't know what it was spent on. It was spent on exactly this, and Elizabeth kind of said that. It was to, and I think you guys agreed, to make sure that, hey, we've exhausted the juvenile home. It isn't the best bet for it. And although we know we want a school in Toledo, it isn't the most efficient way to have a school. So that's what that $20,000 was getting you, was a good study on examining those areas to decide where the building should go. That's why you don't have the plans that you also want for the $20,000.
Do you guys know, was there an area beyond the juvenile home ever looked at? Just an open, blank area of ground in Toledo?
No.
Something?
They did drive-bys on the old football field. I don't know that there are places to
I mean, I
put a
didn't know.
school in Toledo.
I got something to say about that auditorium. So they want a 500-seat auditorium. So what I'm trying to say here is that Jim Rome spent a lot of money and time and effort to try and get the waiting theater refurbished and make something out of it. So if that is already there, and then we're gonna go with this 500-seat auditorium, I mean, that's kind of a blow to Jim Rome, I think, too, and all the people that are involved in that particular project.
And to speak out loud to that, what he's saying is that, there's a lot of opportunity at the weeding, and that the weeding is very nice, and that maybe the weeding could serve some purpose. So
I have to comment. The meeting is a historical location. It's not a teaching facility. It's not, they've been extremely generous, the Weeding Theater Guild has. And it's a beautiful theater, and we are very, very lucky to have it, but it's not an educational environment.
You want my granddaughter to go there all the time.
Well,
Theater.
they go there because they have no other place to go.
Well, true.
Yeah, I mean, if we had another, look how many times we have to, the school district has to rent the Rhinegeck, because they have no place to do their presentations, their training, the National Honor Society had to go to the Weeding Theater. If we had our own facility, it could be utilized. And the Weeding Theater,
And
I have heard from the Guild that
what did we learn here? I'm just going to interject for a second, because what is happening right now is exactly why I think they won't tell us what they're doing, but they know. Because it's going to make half the people mad and half the people happy, no matter what.
I'll tell you, they've asked for a prospective number on how much it costs to build an auditorium, 500 seats, so that they know, okay, if we can go forward and get everything in that we need for curriculum, maintenance, check all the boxes for what it requires to run a school. If we still have enough money, does that get an auditorium?
You're asking our question, Elizabeth. That's what we're asking.
No,
I would say
I'm saying
this.
that's why they're not answering, because
Yeah.
they've not they haven't gone all the way through the planning process to say
I'll
that they have that money to build an auditorium.
You're correct, so we just need to get some plans. And then
I'll tell you something. Somebody, I don't want to call him
Then
an
why are
old
they
fogey.
bringing it for a vote if you haven't exhausted all of it?
Let's Joyce say something.
I think that he hit the nail right on the head. Most people don't, that I have talked to, don't want middle school students sitting next door to senior students. And if you've raised children, you know this 2-year-old thinks he ought to have the same rights as a 6-year-old. And that is exactly what will happen. They will want to do exactly what the high school students are doing, and different towns that have had this have had to change it.
I
And
want
that's
to
what you-
qualify us a little bit.
to talk about the danger of putting that middle school next to the high school. Part of it, as shown in the picture. We raised 3 boys. They were all introduced to drugs at Tama High. The youngest one that I just talked to the other day was introduced in the 9th grade when it was up at the middle school in Toledo. The oldest boy took his own life. He couldn't survive the drugs. The middle boy was a 4-point student. He got a full ride to Mount Vernon. Too many drugs. He blew it. The youngest boy, I drug him out of the Cherry Mansion and the drugs in that episode. I just would ask you, please contact the school board or whoever, and thank you very much for the information tonight. Thank you very much. But please, don't let them do it. Thank you. We're old, we need to go home.
For me, this sounds an awful lot like deja vu, because I went through all of this when they did this in West Marshall. Where they took the elementary school and added to everything, and all the different arguments and the plans and whatever else. This all sounds very, very much the same as what they did in West Marshall. So my question is, has anybody actually looked to see what's become of it over these last 8-10 years?
West Marshall, that's good. Well, we have a personal.
I do know our taxes. The taxes went up dramatically in West Marshall last year.
We did, and you know, I think he spoke of Mr. Hutton in his experience of LeGrand. So I would say this, as moderator, there's definitely very passionate concerns on both sides. I mean, that's just talking about the building. I'm not the building guy. I am the property tax guy here, and I'm the truth guy. Okay, I'm the morality and property tax guy. That's it. But the whole building is there's a lot of passion, and obviously it runs deep on some of this. So I'm going to wrap mine up, and then you can have a discussion. I think no means slow. And I think this thing kind of needs to be chewed on quite a bit more. I think it is a mind-numbingly fast thing. I don't think it's well thought out. That's not only my opinion. That's a lot of people's opinions. So.
Will you encourage the school board to go through the planning process to start designing a school that they don't have money for?
They got
Frank?
$4.5 million.
That's true, Would you encourage them to start releasing that money to design a school?
We don't need a full-blown, everything is X square feet,
Yeah.
rooms and everything. We just need a general, what we want to do, like how many rooms, how big an auditorium, stuff like that.
We need to be the ones in charge of what we're gonna build instead of what I hear is the architects in charge of what we're gonna build.
Well, if you give me $29 million.
Frank, what did you want to say? You've worked on bonds.
I spent 53 years in education, one question or another. I don't know how many bond issues I've worked on. Some we got passed and some we got beat pretty bad on, including this district. I was upset at that first meeting. First of all, as far as I'm concerned, they get brought the hired gun in to tell us what they're going to do. If the superintendent believes in something, he ought to be prepared that he can defend it himself, instead of having somebody else tell him or he doesn't understand. That's beside the point. That's what really upset me. But you need a plan. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. A list of buildings or items. This is the first bond issue I've been around in my lifetime where they couldn't give us a list of things. A rough draft. What are their priorities? And if they don't have enough money, you know, and we haven't got any of that. The only thing we've got is that picture next to the high school, and the thing I got from my neighbors out in the country is, well, that addition's bigger than the present high school. What's going to be in it? And I'm not anti-education. What they end up with, I haven't decided for sure how I'm going to vote yet, unless I don't get some answers. And that's the thing that people want. I don't know how many calls I've got, and on this, to me, I call it creative financing. Clear back 60 years ago at Iowa State, Neil Harrell told me, I was in the first class he taught, he was a grad. He told us, he says, don't ever forget, if someone's using creative financing, they're either going broke or they're a crook. I'm still a friend of Neil, he didn't get too far.
Well,
When something sounds too good to be true,
But what I,
It usually is.
we need a plan, and I think that's all any of us is asking for. Some of us taught in that building, some of you went to school. What bothers me, it reminds me, and I've had some former students at the age of some of you in this room tonight. After that first meeting, they called or caught me at somewhere downtown or cafe somewhere, and they said, Frank, this reminds me of the late 70s and early 80s. The implement dealers, farmers were having trouble making payments on their machinery. The implement dealers said, we'll sell you a bigger tractor, we'll roll over the note for a longer period of time, and you make smaller payments. Well, when they run out of cash, they were in trouble. And it looks to me that that's where we're headed right now with what we have available for resources and cash in the district. Is that if we don't make sure we can go from that 2.7 to 405 or whatever it is, nobody's going to buy our bond. And that's what worries me. And nothing's cheap. But if we build something on the farm, or you guys expand this, you usually know what you're going to tear down or what you're going to trade off from machinery before you do it. You don't go build it and then worry about what you do with the old stuff. You have a plan, and that's what bothers me. Maybe I'm just tight, maybe I'm frugal, but to me that's just being frugal in finance. And then be upfront. And most people, I look at it kind of like a disease. A lot of us sooner or later we get older, we're faced with major health issues. We can worry ourselves to death, wondering what it is, but once we find out, we learn how to live with it. And that's the way I look at this bond issue. When we find out what's in it, I'm sure a lot of us will figure out how to live in it. But until we know, we're very hesitant and skeptical.
I think that's a lot of what people are saying. I think that's what Roger said. I'm concerned, I will say, I'm concerned anytime somebody maxes out their credit. I mean, that's just, and we're maxing out our credit. I never think that's a smart thing to do, personally. So.
Well, I was concerned when the meeting was supposed to be at the Partnership Center, and I wasn't the only one that went down there. No, it had been changed.
Well, and kind of like what Frank's saying, we're risking the community. We raise taxes. You're going to have investors that are looking at businesses and everything else, and if you can't afford to do business in this district, they're going to go out of the district. They're going to buy homes out of the district.
If no houses are being built now and taxes go up, there really is not going to be any homes built later. And the other side of that a lot of people I have said too, and they're like, it's the deer in the headlights look, is do they realize rent is going to go up as well?
Unless,
Because all those property owners,
okay,
they're going to.
I rent a house, and am I going to go and raise his rent?
Yeah.
No. I'm going to eat it.
But if somebody's selling,
People will raise them though.
if
Yeah, but I'm going to
somebody's
have to
selling-
eat that.
If
So.
somebody's selling 80 acres in Tama County, and there's 80 acres in Powashik County, and it's both the same ground, so to speak, and the taxes are more in Tama County.
Yeah, it's not even county, it's district. I mean,
Yeah.
you can go up here across the road and in places, and you have South Tama's going to be 16, and
They're
then
gonna look at the operating
North Tama can
costs.
be 10. So I mean, there's a. Here's the way I express that is, when you buy a house, you look at what the taxes are, and you bring that off of what you're willing to pay. And every time a tax goes up, that brings the value of your house down. They are borrowing your value in your house. I mean, it's a direct influence. So I think I'm done here. I think voting for the bond would tie us up in a very, very poor situation. I think voting no is critical. I think it's going to stop us from getting in a hurry and getting involved in a poor deal. I truly believe this is a poor deal, okay? I don't like it that people hate me so much. I don't want them to label me as anti-school. I don't want that. But I honestly, I'm not malicious. I'm not angry. I feel legitimately, look, this is a bad deal. This is just a bad deal. We don't know what we're getting, and we're giving every single bit of our credit away, and we know what we're not doing, $14 to $25 million of stuff. So somebody, you can always vote. I mean, you can always vote for something and give them a yes, but you can never take your yes back. I mean, if you get a good deal, you can give them a yes. If this passes, this is not coming back. I mean, this could be a disaster. So I think voting no is critical. I mean, anybody else can say what they want. I think for this moment right here in March, I think everything possible needs to be done to get a no. Get people out, absentee vote. You can go into the auditor and vote anytime during business hours. Go in there and vote. Don't wait for March 3rd. If there's freezing rain and a blizzard, get your vote in. Go to the auditor, get your vote in, and make it count. Guarantee it count and guarantee you're going to get it in. Don't wait. Take your neighbor. Go get your grandma out of the nursing home. But I think really for the good of the district, whatever you got to do, and for the good of the district.
And actually, if you vote either way, even if you vote yes, it's still important to vote. I mean, you know, get out there, put your vote in.
Don't listen to her. No, yes. No, I'm just teasing. No, I'm teasing. It's right. It's your civic duty. But still, I'm going to say it's your civic duty to be informed, really, too.
Absolutely.
And that's a little bit of why I was irritated that we were just getting financing information while everybody else is already down there voting. So, there's some thoughts. So.
Well, and when you don't get your income tax done, if you haven't, you ask your tax preparer what bracket the South Tama County District is in. If it's not the highest, it's the closest.
Yeah, we're up there pretty good ways.
Also, when you vote, make sure you vote no on all three questions. I think if you vote yes on anything, it's all yes.
Okay, they can keep that. What would happen is if they get one passed, then they would just come back with one of the other questions. So they can keep the right to bond out for the 20.8, then they would just come back and ask again to levy out. It'll make it difficult for them if they don't get a yes on all three. It's going to make it really difficult. The bond agent will not give them any money. So this is what happened on that rollback here recently. So the rollback has gone from 54 to 56.1. That's a net 3% increase. So that's taxes coming. And I say this is stuff that we can figure out. I don't know what it is that we don't figure out. What can we not figure out? I'm going to have a shopper ad. Some folks have expressed that, so I went ahead and reserved it. If you want to throw in on that, I'd appreciate the help on that. $785 for the front page, but we're going to have a front page on the shopper, and I think it's worth getting some out there. So see me about that and discussion. So.
Could some of that $4 million that we got on hand now be used to draw up a real set of blueprints?
Sure, you better, yeah.
That $4 million, if it was thrown in with the 20.8.
What'd you say, Roger? He's basically saying we got plenty of money that if we demanded and we wanted a real set of blueprints, we could get them. We got $4.6 million.
Most of the people I talk to in the community are like me. We feel we probably do need a new school because, as I said, I went to there in kindergarten and junior high. We just need to sit back and take just a little bit of time and see if we can get plans and maybe work a little bit of this out and not push us to the limit. I mean, we don't really want to be pushed to the limit because, as he said, that's dangerous if we have to do work to any of the other schools.
And that's coming. I mean, that's been ignored. It's coming.
And I'm positively sure the middle school is clear full of asbestos, and that's probably going to be rather pricey.
Well, and there again, the elementary school, is it adequate now as far as what's our census in there as far as, you don't say it's overcrowded or we haven't heard concerns there, so could we expand that with a little money and do some fixing up and then hold the class back there?
Or in the partnership center, could we move 5th grade to the partnership center for a short time to get 500 students a week?
old partnership center used to be the old bank downtown Tama. I don't know, does anybody?
Gerald's shaking his head, yes.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Frank is.
Does anybody know if we're still renting that? I heard somebody say that we're still currently renting that space. I don't know.
And paying
Are we
them
renting it for
$1,000
storage?
and
I,
paying for the
I've been told
I
that, but.
don't work for the school anymore.
Frank, so you can't, now you can give us the good news, the juicy stuff.
No, you know, being on the school board's a thankless job, and I think our school board, they have to trust the administrators, so they hear what the administrators want to tell them. And if they hear from us, they're usually catching hell, is the problem. It's a thankless job. We have had a lot of good people serve on the school board all the years I've lived here.
There's
I
some
had
sitting in
people
here
ask
right
me,
now.
Run, I refuse. I've been on a lot of boards. I'll never run for the school board because I was a teacher. I don't think a former employee should be on the school board. But we've had a lot of good people. Some we agree with, some we disagree. The big thing in this community that I've seen over the years is the hardest thing to get people to agree to disagree. And when I was about 20 years old, I got stuck on my first livestock board. My dad said, "Sonny, I mean, damn sure the first night you tell them everybody on that board has the right to disagree. You don't hate somebody because you disagree. Respect it." And I think we forget that, whether it's in something like this or politics or anything.
And unfortunately, the community has, our running track building currently isn't the greatest. You know, we might have approved a set of plans at the elementary, but I've heard multiple times it wasn't built like it was supposed to be built. Yeah, so, and how are we supposed to know that? That's, you know, so.
There's nobody I know who's ever built a house who said that they wouldn't change something.
Right, but when you're, the entrance and the exit especially, which is, you know, was a huge safety issue, they said that it wasn't built how it was designed. So my question would be, who's accountable for that? And heating and cooling had to be redone at a significant amount of money because it wasn't built adequate for that.
Well, I'll go
big
back
space.
further. I was told by somebody who ought to know, maybe Frank can speak to this, that little theater or whatever's in high school now, that was supposed to be significantly bigger, but they ran out of money and it got shrunk. And that's, when was that? 60 years ago or whatever?
68, yeah.
66. And we were supposed to have a bigger, but they ran out of money and it got shrunk. Well, they should have had a signed set of plans or some estimates too, I guess.
And
That
then
just
we did
goes
get
to show you.
into the
Well, and
high school.
honestly, even when we get into plans, there's gonna be stuff that gets changed all the way along just to account for the dollars. I mean, there's no way that the set of plans that we look at when and if will be the same set of plans that are built.
That's another thing. It gets expensive every time when you have to make a change order and set of plans. The architect, the contractors, everybody is going to charge more, and you always assume it's going to cost you when you plan. But it's nice to at least have a, should I say, a wish list.
Well, I'll say this, I mean, we are Tama County, and we are not Marshall County, we are not Johnson County, and I would love to have a full county type school. But then again, we are an ag county, and we're gonna have to act like a Tama County.
And I think it's
and operate within our means.
80% of our students are on free and reduced lunches. So do we need to have a state-of-the-art, dramatic, beautiful building, which we do have an opportunity to do have some of that.
Did you say 80% of
Yes.
our students are on?
Free and reduced lunches.
That speaks of our low income in this county,
Yeah.
with no jobs.
Exactly. Our median household income in this county is $55,000. So, in Tama. So, you know, we need to build within reason of what our students need, what our teachers need, not what would be nice to have.
Okay, we've been, discussion can
I
continue.
got one more thing I'd like to bring up. Why are the teachers telling our kids to vote for this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go home and tell your parents to vote yes. That should not be.
The same reason that we just said right now, even if you're gonna vote yes or you're gonna vote no, go vote.
No, but they're telling the students to tell their parents to vote yes.
Yeah.
That should not be allowed.
Parents are able to be able to get themselves informed and decide as well. They're still the child, but hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, true.
It's the same reason we just talked about it here.
Yeah.
Children will vote.
Be involved in this.
I agree.
Yeah, I think we need to vote. I think there's plenty of opportunity to say yes. I think why it's going so fast is not a good reason to go fast. It's not fair. I think I know why they're doing it. That doesn't justify that, and I think it's gonna take some effort to get the vote out. And I think something better can come up with it, so. Discussion can continue, but for those that might wanna disperse, and there's coffee and cookies back here, eat it up, they're brought. And we're welcome to discuss. You can have the mic, whatever. We got it till midnight, so have at it. We have to be careful on the building, really not to have, because really in the end, most of you guys aren't going to move. I'm not going to move, and hopefully, I don't like going out worrying about tomatoes being thrown at me. So we're going to have to come to a conclusion at some point. I did know one other thing, and somebody expressed. I said I'd say something. Is that those voting yes, they see a lot, the businesses here. So what's happening is you're asking businesses and farms and small businesses to build you a school. And one of the things, if anybody voting yes sees this, is that when they see your business going to Marshalltown, that's hard for them to give you a school when you're taking business away from them and sending it on down. So whether it's birdseed or pet food at Dolezal's or lumber at Harabucks, or tires at Z-Line and OK Tire, or getting your car repaired, I think that's something they wanted to express. Keep your business in here in with the businesses local that are building your school. And so I'm expressing that for them. I don't have a business, but it's hard for business owners to build people a school when the business goes to Marshalltown. So there should be not a bag of dog food or horse food bought at Tyson's. There should be no Walmart tires running around in Tama. I mean, that's really the feeling they have. There should be no Menard lumber come trucking in here if Harabucks is building the school. So I express that. I think that's a fair point. It doesn't hit home for me as much, but I think there's probably a lot of businesses that hate to see that on-ramp going and then new price tags from Marshalltown coming back. So, yep.
I won't leave, but before I leave, I'd like to thank you, Todd, and I wish the group would give him a round of applause for all his preparation.
I'm just glad you came out here. You kind of lame if there was only 2 people. So you guys are a bunch of smart people. So thank you.